What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be doing a reading for all my Scorpio sun sign friends. If you were born between the dates of October 23rd and November 21st, then you are a Scorpio sun sign, and this video is for you. October is here. In fact, we're halfway through, and it's time to get into the spirit of things. That's what we're going to do today. This idea that I'm working with today is brought to us by Atypical Tarot. He's got a great tarot channel on YouTube where he mixes science, spirituality, and tarot and metaphysics together, and it's very intriguing. It's very interesting and informative. So I hope you guys will go check out his channel. I'll put a link to the description I'll put a link to his channel in the description box below. So thank you to him for that great idea. And his idea was for me to use all my darker decks this month and really get into the spirit of Halloween and Samhain. So that's what we're going to do today. And we're talking about blockages. We all have blockages, okay? These are things that are in our way, that are within us, that stop us from advancement. And we're talking about the mind, body, and soul today. And we're going to be using a different tarot deck for each of those categories. So we're going to be using the Dark Grimoire Tarot, the Omega Land Tarot, and the Mortem Oraculum to get to the bottom of what blockages my Scorpio sun sign friends may have at this time. So let's get started with blockages of the mind. These are mental blockages that Scorpios may have. Oh, one thing I want to say before I get any further into this is that this is supposed to be difficult. This is supposed to be hard to hear. I did this reading for myself and it got kind of depressing, okay? But I quickly realized that that was a good thing. That means the reading resonates. That means I struck a nerve, and it means also that I know which way I want to be headed now, right? If you know that what darkness lies within you, you can take steps to go in the opposite direction. So I encourage you to look at it in the same way. And let's start with this blockages of the minds. We got the Four of Chalices. Apathy is the feeling I'm getting from this. I think mentally, a lot of Scorpios, and again, this is not going to resonate with everyone, okay? So keep that in mind. So this is a reading for a large group of people, but I think mentally, I think a lot of us have apathy. We have just maybe things didn't work out in the past, so why bother in the future? Maybe you're unsure of which direction you want to travel, so it's hard to really focus your mind on one direction. Maybe you don't know your place here on Earth or your purpose here, so it's very easy to get kind of discouraged and apathetic towards towards your life in general sometimes. But also this could be more about just apathetic thinking. Right? Maybe you kind of have low vibrational thoughts, and these low vibrational thoughts are leading you to create a low vibrational reality, or a lower vibrational reality than you would like. So I think there needs to be some excitement, there needs to be some focus, there needs to be some energy put into deciding a direction. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from this. There needs to be more positivity in your mind, in your mental space. You need to look at every single situation in your life from a more positive vantage point. And that's going to transform your reality. If you're able to do that, it's not an easy thing. You have to be aware of your thoughts at a constant basis. And most of the time we're unconscious to our thoughts because we're used to our thoughts just being in control and just being the main thing in our in our bodies. So we just let our thoughts do their thing. But I think this is asking you to control your thoughts a little bit more. Be more aware of what you're thinking and raise the vibration of those thoughts. Think more positively, more actively, proactively, and have more focus if you can find it. And I think focus comes from thinking more positively. All right, let's move on over to this card, which represents blockages of the body. Not necessarily body blockages, though it may mean that, but blockages in the physical world. And we got the Page of Swords. I'm getting the feeling of naivete. I don't know how to say it. Just being kind of, it's the same thing. Look at these two guys, just like the same guy. Just sitting around, not doing much, just thinking about things a little bit too much. And I think that's kind of a blockage that you may have, is you're too much in the headspace. Another headspace card here, and I feel like there's too much thinking and not enough doing. And, when we start to get into our heads and start to think about stuff, we're going to invent reasons not to do things. We're going to invent problems. So we're going to invent fears and worries and paranoias and anxieties. And that, in result, is going to stop us from putting action in the physical world. We're going to say, oh, that's not worth my time or effort. I'm just going to fail. I don't want to go in that direction because I don't even know if that's where I want to go. I'm not going to put any energy into this or that. I'm just going to sit around and think about things. And, that's fine at some points, but there needs to be more balance. I think there needs to be more energy put into your actions, and I think you need to think less and do more and just do it, right? If you have a good idea, don't overthink it, don't overanalyze it, just put in some energy, put in some work, and see what happens, right? And maybe you fail, maybe you don't, but if you fail, you learned a lesson. If you didn't fail, then you succeeded. So it's a win-win. Why psych yourself out, right? Why psych yourself into sitting on the sidelines when the coach is saying, we need you, man, we need 3 points, there's only 10 seconds left, and you're like, let someone else do it, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. So that seems to be the blockage of the body. Maybe too much overanalyzing, too much thinking, being naive a little bit about how to approach things. So I think we need to be more proactive and stop thinking as much. Alright, this card here represents blockages of the soul. And this is where things get a little bit interesting. Not just because these cards are painted in human blood, but because we're talking about the soul now. And we have a cobra with transformation. I think your soul is wanting a big change at this time. I think your soul is ready for a huge shedding of the skin. And I think the blockage you have is that that would mean you gotta put in action. That would mean change. That would mean getting out of your head and going out and doing. And like we just talked about, there seems to be a desire to sit around and do nothing. Not nothing, but do little. Okay? But that's not going to help you to bring about that transformation. So your soul is ready for a big change, is the feeling that I'm getting here. Your soul is ready to metamorphosize or shed the skin of the snake, whatever analogy you like. And I think you're resistant to that. A lot of you, okay? A lot of you are resistant to that, and maybe even to the point where anything that would lead to that, you kind of strike out at, you lash out at, because you know that if I allow a little bit of change to come, that might mean a lot of change. That might mean I have to get off my butt and I gotta go do stuff, and that's no fun. I'd rather just think about things and analyze things and be in my headspace. And so I encourage you, if this resonates with you, to do away with that energy. Change is always good. Change is for the best. Change brings new things. It brings advancement. It brings growth. And it might be scary at first, but you can't just lash out or attack at anything that might bring about change, because you're just fighting what your soul wants. You're fighting what you truly want. You're fighting yourself. Who's going to win in a battle against yourself? Not you. Not you. So stop fighting yourself and allow change to come. Allow your soul to grow and evolve. And it might mean a completely different reality, but that's okay. It's going to be a better reality. I'm a Scorpio too, and this totally resonates with me. I see myself in these cards, okay? So this is supposed to be painful. This is supposed to be difficult to hear, and that means healing, right? That means we struck a nerve. So now that we've seen all these cards, I think that a lot of us Scorpios are willing to sit on the sidelines at this time. We're not ready to get in the game. Going back to the basketball analogy. And even though our team needs us, we're like, I'm just content to sit at this bench and drink my Gatorade. Okay, but it's time to get in the game is the feeling that I'm getting here. So some blockages need to go. And I think we've went over how to remove those blockages. So one by one, we're going to knock away these little impediments to our growth, and we're going to move towards healing. We're going to move towards a metamorphosis or a transformation. Ooh, exciting. Okay? So that is the reading for my Scorpio friends. again, it's supposed to be painful. If it was, then good. That means we're headed towards growth. And not everything is going to resonate with everyone. You know, we're doing a reading for 12th of the population. So take what works for you, leave the rest. And if you want a personal reading with me, you can go to my website. It's lightofraiga.com. The link is in the description box below. And be sure to do all the YouTube stuff, the liking, the sharing, the subscribing, the commenting. I really do appreciate it. It helps my channel to grow as well. Everything needs to grow, including the channel. Okay? So I appreciate all of that. And that's going to be it. So I want to wish you a happy October, Scorpio friends. Many of your birthdays are coming up soon, so I'll wish you an early happy birthday, even though we're a little ways off. But you know what I mean. So love and light to you all. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy taroting. Peace.